Does it feel like every part of your life is divided? Every scenario, every environment, your church, your school, your work, your friends, left, right, conservative, liberal, religious, secular. It seems you always have to take a side. This is a conversation between a progressive Christian and a conservative atheist who happen to be great friends. Welcome to Living on Common Ground.
Do you think if we met today, we would still be friends?
I don't know, but we're friends now.
A mob is no less a mob because they're with you.
Man, so what? We won a few games. And y'all fools think that's something? Man, that ain't nothing, y'all. And you know what else? We ain't nothing either. Yeah, we came together in camp. Cool. But then we're right back here and the world tells us that they don't want us to be together. We fall apart like we ain't a damn bit of nothing, man.
You're wrong. All right. So we're back. It's been a short, quick month, I think.
I think it's just been a month.
I think the last episode aired on June 11th, right?
Something like that.
And today is July something. July 23rd. And it will come out this afternoon after I do a little bit of audio work on it. All right. So,
because you've been traveling the world.
And so have you. And, but, all right. So the plan was back in June. We would, I had gone ahead and done an audio recording of all the different reflections from the beach that I wrote. And so in June we did this, the rip current.
Yeah, that's right.
And I do want to share one comment that, was left by a Karen A.
Someone left a comment?
Why are you shocked that people read my stuff?
No, that's not what I meant.
That's exactly what you meant.
Wait, this was left on your Substack. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. There's somebody that read it on Substack.
That makes more sense. Okay.
By the way,
go ahead.
A lot of people were panicking. Did you see that Substack has now set up an AI where everything that it gets published or comments or anything like that, it goes through an AI. And so if it's a bot, like comment stuff, it can get booted out.
Okay.
But they're also making sure that people aren't just using AI to write their Substack material.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Right. And it was so funny how many people were getting nervous about that. And I thought to myself, it's like the whimpering dog. It's only the whimpering dog that's been hit. Right. And so when
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but out of curiosity, I did look up the company that they're using. And then I took something that I had written with Gil.
Yeah.
So Gil and I sat down and wrote it together. And I copied and pasted it in. And it told me that it was 100% AI created.
Yeah.
And I was like,
stop trying to cheat,
what?
Jeff.
Well, it was interesting. And I was like, that's ridiculous. And it's like, but then you can click a button that shows like evidence. I was like, all right, evidence for why do you think that what that is AI?
Yeah.
And it just highlighted my entire paragraph that I submitted as evidence.
That was the evidence. Sure.
And I was like, well, how? So anyway, then I was
didn't
like,
give a reason.
No, it just highlighted everything. So then I thought, okay, well, let me take I have one scheduled to post. I had one scheduled to post on Wednesday, right? This week, yesterday. And so I copied it and I dumped it in there.
This is going to cause wars.
And I was
am
like,
not saying that facetiously.
Right. And I copied it. I dumped it in there. And now I wrote it and I checked it and it came back and said 100% human.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the difference?
Yeah. Nobody knows. It's a black box. So what's crazy about this, I love this, is, I have heard a little bit about, I'm way out of the world of college students at this point, but I've heard a little bit about the issues that some college students are having. So first, the professors start having the issues, right? Because college students are writing their papers with AI. And then so what do the professors do? The professors start using AI software to filter everything through, which is then doing exactly what you're talking about and telling the professors that fully written by students' papers are just AI. And then the students are contesting this. And so it's like this back and forth, and then who can know? And it just makes me think about what it would have felt like to live in the, early 17th century or maybe call it late 16th century, where the printing press is just destroying your ability to know what's real and what's not. And you wouldn't know that. Nobody would know that that's what's happening.
Right.
All you would know is, I don't know, France is invading the Vatican or whatever. Like that's you just know that your way of life is changing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know that that really
right.
It's because what you would know is there are these people that are now kind of being called Protestants that are destroying your religion, right? Causing wars and whatever, or vice versa. You wouldn't know that really all of this is because of the printing press,
right? Well, it was interesting because, like I said, when people first started like yelping about AI, about this being checked for AI content, I was like, okay,
right?
So what?
That's good,
yeah. And then I ran my stuff through it, and it was like, 100%. I was like, wait. And the funny thing
you're
was,
saying when you went to the program directly,
when I went to the program directly,
AI.
And I dumped some of my stuff that I had written on the book that I'm writing with Gil.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, the thing that I took and I copied and I put in there is some content that I'm rewriting right now, because I was like, that's garbage. Like that's not well written. Like I myself read it and I was like, that's just not well written.
Yeah, you didn't like it and you wanted to
I have a tendency, because I'm trying to capture a similar voice to Steinbeck as I'm writing this, right? Because Gil's life is basically a Steinbeck character.
Okay.
And so I'm intentionally trying to model, sort of use that same sort of. If you read enough of it, you can catch kind of, he does end up with a very familiar voice, whether he's writing, fiction or nonfiction. Anyway, so I'm trying to do that, and I realize that there are certain literary techniques that he uses that I started using as a crutch. And so as I read it out loud, I was like, that's not just that. It's not that well written. So anyway, I copied.
Is Gilmore Steinbeck or Hemingway?
He's a Steinbeck.
He feels very Hemingway to me.
No, man. Think about
like the adventurism and,
He's a Steinbeck guy.
I guess so.
So, I mean, but plus, I mean, he rode his last rodeo ever was in Salinas.
All right. That's fine.
He lived in Monterey. Gil did. He's anyway.
He never joined a Spanish Civil War, so I guess he's not.
He did not join a Spanish Civil War. No. And he probably did hunt in the UP, so he could be a Hemingway guy. Maybe he's a combo. Anyway, that's beside the point. It said that it was AI. And then I was like, oh, I guess these people have a legitimate concern that things that they've worked hard on might get labeled as AI. That might be a problem. But then I was wondering, well, maybe it's the style, and maybe like it doesn't, maybe what they're paying for, what Substack is paying for, is more nuanced than what you do online. Like when you copy and paste. I mean, it was a free thing. Like I didn't subscribe to it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like the one that came out yesterday is a Bible study reflection, right? It's like it's on Genesis chapters 1 and 2. And so the style that I was writing in isn't the same style when I was trying to emulate, copy, whatever.
Yeah.
Steinbeck. And so maybe that was the difference. I don't know. But whatever, it was interesting.
No, I think it's a black box. Nobody actually knows how it works.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that it's not actually, we use AI as a shortcut now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually the artificial intelligence that we're using. We're using the program's artificial intelligence
I'm
powers.
just learning. Yeah, that blows my mind. So anyway, I did send me in a little bit of a depressed moment.
Good.
Because I thought to myself, I've worked now for over a year on trying to write Gil's book.
Yeah.
And I'm not done, right?
Yeah.
I still have 4 more chapters, and then I'm looking back, and there's a lot that I want to rewrite.
Yeah.
And so it's probably going to be end of this year, beginning of next year before I even get something that I think would be worth publishing, or at least submitting to a publisher. And I thought, if they run it through this same AI thing, there's a chance I could do all this work and it come back and say, yeah, it's AI.
Yeah. There is. And who would you appeal to, and how would you even prove it if the evidence is just your writing?
Yeah. One of the things that came up is the use of dashes.
Okay.
I've been using dashes since 1998.
Wait, what do you mean dashes?
You know, there's a.
I mean, I know what a dash is.
But you know, like you'll write something and then you'll have like a little side thought. So you do a dash and then a dash.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
You do that? I do that. Anyway, apparently AI is known for doing that.
Instead of using
Maybe a
parentheses?
comma, or instead of a parentheses, right? Like if I don't want to have a parenthetical, I might just use because if you do like if you hit the minus button twice real quick, it creates a long dash when you're typing.
Okay, sure.
In Pages.
Okay.
And so sometimes I'll just and then type my thought and then again and keep going.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it like that. And so if you've ever probably you've seen them in my handouts and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
I know you don't really read the handouts. So anyway,
usually not.
Yeah. But apparently that's a signal that it was created by AI.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all guesses, right? It feels very much like SEO. You know what that is?
No.
Search engine optimization, which was huge 10 years ago, right? And it was, companies would you'd pay a company for SEO for your website or whatever. And they all had like a magic special sauce. Right? They would say they could do this and that. And what you need to do is do this and make sure that these code words are in your website. And sometimes they probably worked, but it all just felt like, well, it felt like magic. And I don't mean like, oh, it's magical and it's wonderful. I mean like, it felt like, like a 17th century witch in the woods somewhere saying like, I can make you pregnant. You just need to bring these, things together and I'll mix up a concoction.
That's
and
right. Get that birchwood and all that blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's like the mole repellent that I was reading about today. It's
the mole repellent?
Yeah. It's witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I wouldn't spread it around your house then.
It's all natural though, because witchcraft really just takes all natural things. And anyway, all right. So
all natural is just code for doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. People that try to do no, you just got to take
all natural
Dawn
deodorant,
soap, or no, the all natural weed killer in Tennessee.
Oh, wait, I found out. Okay, go ahead. I bet I know what you're going to say because I have a solution for it.
Okay,
and it is all natural.
Because the all natural if you try to do an all mix vinegar and Dawn dish soap or whatever and try to do that and kill weeds are like, oh,
that's cute.
You're trying to make a salad. Like, what are you trying to do here?
Okay, I can tell you what happens. I've been trying to do this,
and you started mixing it with Roundup.
No.
Okay.
So we don't use Roundup. We're tinfoil hat people in our house, and we hate glyphosate and all of that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, because you're from California.
That's right. So we don't use that. So I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of the weeds because we have a bunch of rocks and stuff. So we have bad weed problems and whatever, I end up having to pull them, which sucks.
Weeds love this weather, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Everything grows here. It's insane. Anyway.
Except me, I wilt.
So I did 2 things. One, when I finally got fed up with it, I got a blowtorch. So that works.
I've been seeing that on social media. That cracks me up. Yeah.
But okay.
I'm picturing.
It's so great.
The mental image I have of you outside with a blowtorch going after weeds is priceless.
Yeah. But I can justify it to my wife because, I'm not putting chemicals in the ground.
Right. Of course, if you did that in California, you've just set the entire state on fire.
Yeah, I know. And you're not going to set anything on fire out here.
No.
Okay. But all right. So the vinegar thing is just real quick. I've tried that so many times and it never works ever. Right. And then I was talking to one of my friends about it. We were talking about the blowtorch thing and whatever, And I was like, I told him that, I've tried that so many times, it doesn't work. And he was like, oh, well, you have to get the Home Depot vinegar. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, no, you have to get 30% or 50% vinegar. And I was like, oh, I thought you just use like
The white vinegar that you get, yeah.
So we looked it up. White vinegar, cooking vinegar is 5% vinegar. The stuff that you're supposed to use, you cannot ingest. It will kill you.
Really?
Yeah. So you go to Home Depot, you get 30%. I've gotten 50% now. I accidentally spilled a little bit of it on the garage floor, and it ate into the cement. Like it's that kind of caustic.
Yeah.
So you get that.
And this is better for the environment?
And yeah, because it.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
It's still vinegar. It still goes away. The problem with glyphosate.
Is it spelled ROUND?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's this stuff works. And it did burn those weeds away. So anyway, if anyone wants to know, that's what you got to do.
Get
but
your vinegar at.
I ordered
this is why people tune in.
Yeah, I know.
It's for these helpful handy tips.
It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Including like just come out once a month.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So not that this isn't an engaging conversation.
No.
It is. A couple things. One is I do want to read from Karen A, the comment that she made about the reflection called the rip current.
Yep.
She writes another great one, which means that she's read the other ones too.
Oh, nice.
And then
Thanks, Karen A.
I know, right? And then after reading, I thought about how the directions for what to do are posted, seen by countless people, but not always read. And then she writes, our Bibles can be that way. I'm happy to have a lifeguard in whom I trust. Sometimes life happens and I have to let things sweep me out a certain degree so that I can swim parallel. And happily, there are those on the beach that look at more than themselves and share points not pondered by an average beachgoer. Thank you. So I was just glad that she commented.
That's a really nice sentiment. I like all that.
It was great. Yeah, I thought that was great, and I'm glad that she enjoyed the reflection.
She equated the instructions to the Bible, to the Word of God.
Yeah, I think a couple different things, right? To the Bible, yes, but also to friends who maybe just offer you a different perspective.
The people on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is good. So, and that's the point of the reflections is you take away from it what you want. I'm
unless it's wrong.
Well, I'm not worried about that anymore. I'm not worried about trying to reflect or correct people anymore. As long as you're not being mean or hurtful to other people, do what you want.
Well, that's you.
That is me. And
I'm going to judge them harshly if they're incorrect.
Well, I may internally, but as long as I just do it internally, that doesn't hurt anybody, right?
Sure.
Except maybe me. Okay, so the original plan was we were going to then talk this week. We were going to listen to me read the pre-recorded The Sand, which is the next reflection in the order that I had them. However, we have both been gone for a long time. And I made just a little offhanded, snarky comment about California a few moments ago.
Yeah.
But that's where I was at.
Yeah.
And that's where you're from. And so...
And
let's talk about that.
You drove all the way up into, you ended up in my actual hometown. Well, Sacramento's not my actual hometown, but close enough.
Your area.
Close enough.
Yeah.
My area. And you drove through and hung out in an area that I'm very familiar with.
Yeah.
Pismo. So,
yes.
Yeah. What were your thoughts about California?
Right,
How great is California?
I love California. If I could afford to live anywhere, money was no option, I would live along the coast of California somewhere further south.
Very, very unique perspective.
Right? No. The reason it's so expensive is because everyone feels that way, right?
Wait,
I love San Diego.
I was going to say,
right?
Which part? San Diego or
we stayed on Laguna
Central
Beach.
Coast?
Right? We stayed on Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach was awesome.
Yeah.
If I wasn't interested in seeing the rest of the state, I could have a very happy vacation just staying at Laguna Beach for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So we flew into Long Beach and then rented a car and drove down to Laguna Beach. And then we spent the next day just there. And And when I first got to California, in Laguna Beach in particular, I had a bit of a culture shock, right? It was like, oh my gosh.
How so?
And well, I judged people.
Okay.
I began to judge
Good.
in general.
Good.
Right. And
who were you judging? All the potheads?
No, the potheads don't bother me. You know, there's probably a little bit of me that was jealous that it's still not legal in Tennessee.
Yep.
I'm joking, wink, wink. Anyway, but what was interesting to me is, okay, first thing. So Saturday we get up, we go down to the beach, we get some chairs and stuff set up, whatever. My kids get a volleyball because they're hoping to get into the loop with the volleyball players and all that kind of stuff because they love beach volleyball.
Wow. I have never done that.
Well, I mean, think about
I've been to going to
my
California beaches my entire life, and I have never tried to get involved in a volleyball game with strangers.
Robbie played volleyball for the club team in the high school. And Madison's been playing beach volleyball since she was in high school. And she started playing volleyball when she was in middle school.
Okay.
So, and she's 5'10", and he's just shy of 6'5".
Yeah. No, I got it.
And he's 175 pounds. He is a beach volleyball player.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, so that was their thing. And I was just looking forward to just walking up and down the beach.
Yeah.
Looking at the tide pools, going up on they've got that walkway where it's paved.
Okay.
And you can go up and over, and there's this whole park and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Palisades Park over near Santa Monica, but with less rats.
Okay.
So, true story.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, but it's beautiful, right? And so we got there, we walked around a little bit, and I found a cigar shop.
Okay.
And I was like, awesome. So I got myself a cigar.
Perfect.
And I lit it up, and we go walking back, and I realize I'm legally not allowed to be anywhere in California with a lit cigar.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you stay in the shop or did you walk around? You're outside.
I went outside
with a lit nicotine stick.
I know. And I didn't realize that there's no place that you can legally smoke a cigar other than your own home. And even in your own
the bed.
Even in your own home, don't be close enough to your neighbors.
Yeah.
Right? And so I just walked around town, but I continued to move.
Yeah.
So that I was never,
It is interesting how culture goes because, this is just the ebbs and flows of how things strike people because you can absolutely just be walking down the street smoking a joint.
Yes.
Nobody will care.
I stopped and I watched I was watching the basketball players right on the beach and everything like that.
Yeah.
And the smell of weed
it's everywhere.
is everywhere.
Yeah.
Which
again, that's fine. But my point just being
legal.
People would look at you with horror if you're standing there smoking a cigarette or smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting.
Interesting.
There was this old black guy that looked over at me smoking the cigar.
Yeah.
And he kind of gave me this look like, that's right.
Like you like resistance.
Like stick it to the man.
That's right.
Yeah, right. And I was like, I didn't realize that I was being that countercultural.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
So I thought that was great. And so I immediately broke the law and didn't realize that.
Wonderful.
And then I noticed a lot of cosmetic surgery.
Oh, sure. Well, you're in Southern California.
And but not even some of it wasn't even well done.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you just want to, again, very judgy, but I was like, do you really think you're fooling people? But that was me.
It's interesting.
That was me all of a sudden being completely submerged in something that felt foreign to me.
Yeah.
That's all that was, a reaction.
And that is a cultural thing because nobody, quote unquote, thinks that they're fooling anyone. It's that none of their friends are without cosmetic surgery.
Mm.
They've spent years. You've spent years where, last 10, 12 years, everyone has gotten something done.
Mm-hmm.
And multiple things, and then continue.
Well, because your husband who you're sitting with we were at a restaurant and there's these two couples and the guys are obviously in their 80s.
Yeah.
And the women
are obviously not.
They're obviously in their 80s too.
Oh, sure.
They're trying to not look like it.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Because one of the things I did learn on this trip is the dead giveaway is the hands.
Well,
there's no cosmetic surgery for hands
I bet there is somewhere. And
could you imagine how painful that would
be? If it's good, I bet you just don't realize it.
So anyway, that was just me being judgy. Because I've looked at places on myself where I thought you could use a little tuck there. Anyway, but I was in California.
By the way, I think is way more common than people realize.
Yeah. Which part? The judgy part?
Oh, the cosmetic surgery.
Oh.
Like everywhere, even here, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I do know if you're going to go to Southern California, it's weird. Southern California is weird.
Well, I liked it. Like I said, if I could live anywhere, I would want to live in Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
If I could afford it, just like, unfortunately, everybody else. We were in a house, 800 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
The Verbo that we were in.
Yeah.
Walking, you walk a block, you're on the beach.
Beautiful.
And 800 square feet. Denise looked it up. If we were to buy it, we would just need to come up with 1.4 million.
That's interesting. I was thinking somewhere around 3. So 1.4 would be. Yeah. That's nice.
Your property is the house.
Is the stamp, yeah.
And a concrete slab for you to park your car on.
Yeah.
That's the entire.
Well, I mean, 1.4. I'm not going to ask you how much you spent to rent it, but you can imagine I'm
sure they're making the money
a pretty
back.
Good return.
I'm sure it's helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at that in Pismo.
Yeah.
I look at those properties in Pismo. And it's not nearly as much as like LA, but it's pretty expensive also. Yeah.
So is Laguna Beach considered part of LA?
Yeah. It's one of. I mean, I don't know.
It took us about an hour and a half to get to the Dodger Stadium.
Yeah,
from there.
When people say
Orange
LA,
County,
most people when people say LA, they mean all of the spread. Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, so we stayed there. Next day we got up. It was a Sunday. We drove into LA. It was a day game. Went to Dodger Stadium. Liked the stadium for the history of it. And to see the things because you've seen it on TV and all that kind of stuff, and even in movies you see it. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then because it was a day game, it was over in time that we drove out to Santa Monica. Went to Santa Monica Pier, walked down Venice Beach, went up to Palisades Park.
How was Venice Beach?
It was nice.
Did it seem clean?
It seemed clean. It seemed like a lot of people are very healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people doing a lot of exercise and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a thing. Venice Beach is the like the workout thing, culture or whatever. But I'm not super familiar with that area actually. But from what I remember, Venice Beach had like a bad homeless problem, and so I just didn't know.
The only place we didn't really see homeless people was Laguna.
Yeah.
We saw more homeless people though in San Diego.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a function of like where you were in San Diego.
We almost saw a fight on Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a Christian booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. About why he needed Jesus, and somebody was
like getting upset about that or something?
No, I think they were friends, and because he was arguing about, I came out here for you, and
it was just a personal dispute.
Oh yeah, and it was getting bad. And then the person who was actually in charge of the booth, like someone else ran off to find her. And like she comes running over as these two are about to just throw down at the Jesus booth.
That's awesome.
It was great. And so anyway, but yeah, we did see rats in the Palisades Park.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I was like, big ones.
Yeah.
And Madison kind of freaked out about it. And I was like, well, at first I thought it was a squirrel. And then I was like, no.
Squirrel-sized rats.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So anyway, we did that. And Robbie was really excited about seeing that and then was really disappointed.
Really disappointed about what?
Just the Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as cool as what he
so,
thought.
Yeah. And then I wrote a reflection about it, and it'll come out on, here's a shameless plug, it'll come out on my Substack next week.
Yeah.
And it'll pass the AI test. So anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah, it should. If not, I'll be shocked. So anyway, so then the plan was we were going to get up the next day and head into Anaheim.
Yeah.
And so we were like, do you guys want to go to Disneyland? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
But we were going to go to a baseball game that night.
Yeah.
Go see the Angels. and the kids decided they just wanted to hang out at the beach for half the day.
Okay.
And then go in and eat at the game.
Yeah.
Which I was glad, because the other cultural shock thing was we went out for dinner our first night there, and we ate at the beach.
Yeah.
At the Laguna Beach Hotel.
Okay.
Which you can't stay there. It's so old you can't actually stay there anymore. I think they're renovating it.
Interesting.
But there's a restaurant in the main level. You can't go up. Anyway, so we each got a drink. Had an appetizer, dinner, and a dessert.
Yeah.
And with the tip, it was over $600.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Welcome
Okay.
to California.
It's like, tomorrow, guys, it's pizza on the beach.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it was fine. I did have this moment of, if I eat like that every day, are we going to be able to be eating after 2 weeks? Like,
Robbie's going to have to pay for his final year in college.
Right? Yeah. And I was like, okay. And it was so funny because the kids, I think, after a couple meals like that, became cognizant.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we could just, and I was like, no, guys, you shouldn't have to worry about whether or not we can afford dinner. Just, if we're going to take you somewhere, get what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't start looking at prices on the don't worry about it. And so, but yeah, we did have pizza on the beach.
Chicken fingers.
Yeah, we did have pizza on the beach. And it is interesting, though, that it saved you money to eat at the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Typically
That's
the situation.
not, And so anyway, so then.
Hey, can we pause real quick?
Yeah.
Like pause the recording?
Yeah. Maybe. All right. So the next day we were supposed to get up and head into Anaheim.
Yeah.
But they want to spend the day at the beach, which is fine. We considered Disneyland.
The OC.
Yeah. Stuff like that. And
do you ever watch that show?
No.
You were 10 years too old. It was big because it was
There's
big.
a lot of things I was either too old or too young for.
Well, I just mean, I think it was early aughts is when it was big, the OC.
Yeah.
That reality TV show. That's what Spencer Pratt was on. That's where he became famous.
And who's Spencer Pratt?
Oh, he was running for LA mayor in this last race. And anyway, whatever. But
you're lucky I know who Marsha Blackburn is.
What was I going to say? Oh, anyway, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a really big deal in the early aughts.
Okay.
But it's like, the OC is like,
we were having our kids.
It's like the San Diego of LA. It's,
I like San Diego.
Yeah. It's no, it's great. It's just, it's the more expensive, area.
So we just went to the game.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It felt like going to a baseball game at Disney.
Oh, really?
Like the people had on those barbershop quartet, those hats.
Really?
Type of thing, with the striped vests.
Interesting.
And they were all like, and smiley and happy. And much
selling peanuts like it's 1938 or whatever.
Yeah, much more happy than they were at Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium was great. Felt like a party. But you'd be like, how do we get to, and the guy would look at you like, are you a moron? This is your first time here? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so it was good. And then the next day we went into Hollywood and to Rodeo Drive, and Beverly Hills, and did Sunset Boulevard, and went up to Mulholland Drive and did all that, right? And that was a letdown.
Yeah. It's usually built up in people's minds a lot more
Hollywood,
than it actually
I didn't
is.
realize that like people have more than one star in Hollywood. I thought like, oh, here's your star.
Yeah.
And then just keep walking down a little bit and there's another one.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
And that was one where like it was a lot of people experiencing homelessness.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It's a rough area.
Tourists.
Yeah.
Right. That was it. And street performers.
It's not as fun as it seems like it's going to be.
There was even one guy who had like a python.
Sure.
And he was like, get your picture taken with my snake.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anyway, but I did find a California flag t-shirt for $5.99.
All right.
And so I got it there. And that was my souvenir for California.
Nice.
And so we did that. And then the next day we were supposed to get up early and go down to San Diego and for a night game. and my kids, can you guess what they wanted to do instead of getting up early and heading down?
They wanted to sleep and go to the beach.
Yes. And so we stayed at the beach again.
Yeah.
And to their defense, it was Wednesday and we had to leave Thursday out of the Burbo and start heading north.
Yeah.
So that night we went down to San Diego, and I have decided that I want to go back to San Diego with just Denise.
Yeah.
And just get a Verbo
San
out
Diego's
near
great.
La Jolla, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And just spend some time down there. And so she's been there. Denise has been there. She went there for work several years ago, and so she is a little more familiar with the area. But again, the weather was fantastic. Catching a baseball game there.
There is no
great.
weather in San Diego. That's the issue.
There's
no weather.
And I couldn't figure out why. Because I knew it's gorgeous. It's always gorgeous. But you look at the map and you're like, it's far enough south. It should be hot. But I didn't realize what the Pacific Ocean does.
Yeah.
With the cool wind blowing in.
Just keeps it all temperate.
Yeah. Now
It's perfect.
you head 50 miles inland.
Yeah. And it's desert.
It's miserable.
Yeah. Well, I love it.
Well, of course you do.
I'm
We're about to get to your area, bud.
okay.
All right. So we get up on Thursday morning. We head up. We stop at a place called Slovene.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
And which is a Norwegian village.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And bakeries. It was good. Otherwise,
I'm not super familiar. I mean, I know the area.
Basically, imagine slightly less tchotchke Gatlinburg, but in California.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? It's that same type of thing. It's like a lot of local people.
Yeah.
Well, locals, like, we're from California and we've just come over for the day type
Right.
of thing, right?
Yeah.
And, but, it was fine. And it was a stop on the way up to Pismo.
Yeah.
And then that's where we walked on Pismo. We got in our hotel. We walked on Pismo Beach, walked out on the pier, took the picture of the shark and sent it to you.
Uh-huh. Thank you very much.
My understanding is I sent you into at least over an hour spiral if no one's going in the water.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I don't prefer, this is why when you were talking about Madison and Robbie wanting to play volleyball. First off, if I'm going to the beach, I would prefer to look at the beach from the hotel pool. That's like my ideal.
Fair. That's fair.
But if we're actually going to go out on the beach, then I mean, I want the umbrella and the chair and the drink.
Okay.
That's all I'm interested in.
See, I'm a walk the beach guy.
That's what Krista wants to do.
I don't want to sit. I don't even want to play in the water.
Yeah.
I just want to walk.
Yeah.
Up and down.
But my kids really wanted to be in the water.
Of course they do. They're kids.
And they like to boogie board.
Of course.
And
I used to surf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you sent me that picture and I was like, yeah, we're not getting in the water. Because I already have seen so many videos of Pismo with shark, like overhead drone footage.
Yeah.
Because there's all the surfers that hang out next to the pier there.
Yeah.
And then
they were all there.
Drone footage will look at the silhouette of sharks underneath them.
Yeah.
And then you sent me the picture of the guy who caught the shark. But then Krista did some research and found out that it's called a reef shark, and they are completely like there's never been any instance.
Their mouths are relative.
They're very small.
Yeah. I mean, it might be able to get your arm.
Yeah.
But
there's not been any recorded instance of a reef shark, I guess, ever attacking a human at all.
You're not their type.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you can get in the water.
So I liked Pismo. I didn't like all the sand fleas.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of the 3 beaches, Laguna, probably Pismo would be second.
Yeah.
If you could get rid of the sand fleas.
Yeah.
Venice, like if you're gonna walk from, like if you want to actually walk all the way down to the water, pack a lunch. Like I didn't realize how huge
Southern California beaches are deep.
That was massive.
It is like walking across a desert.
Yeah.
My favorite beach is Newport Beach. And it is very similar to that, where it's like, it is such a trek. And imagine, I mean, we would go down there with little kids. So when you're going with little kids, you look like a Sherpa. I've got like stuff all on my back and I'm dragging a easy up and a wagon or whatever, like 3 miles in or whatever. Nobody is going to the bathroom. Nobody,
They're going to the water.
Into the water. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Nobody's going back for food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a great business plan.
What's that?
Get some of those golf carts with the big dune buggy wheels on them.
Uh-huh.
And chauffeur people.
Yeah, it's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
In California, people would pay for that.
Yeah, and just work out tips or whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep. All right. So then we got up in the morning and we headed to perhaps my favorite stop, Salinas.
What'd you think of Salinas?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved Salinas. Salinas is just a little bit smaller Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a town.
Yeah.
Nothing to it.
Yeah. And I said that tongue in cheek to try to provoke you a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But no, I thought it was really cool. We went to the Steinbeck Museum.
Cool.
And at the Steinbeck Museum, you got a little map while we were there.
Yeah.
Of Salinas, which basically is the street.
Yeah.
And but it had on there marked the buildings that Steinbeck referenced in East of Eden.
Okay.
When the mother who opened the House of Ill Repute would come into town for her weekly visit, and those buildings were there. So I got to walk and be like, "There it is, there it is."
Yeah,
that was really cool.
That is cool.
And then we ate at Steinbeck's childhood home.
Okay,
and it's a nonprofit, completely run by volunteers.
Cool.
And I had a very good chicken salad sandwich.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was excellent on sourdough bread. And then
if Jessup is listening to this episode, he is pulling his hair out right now. Did you guys hang out in Monterey?
I bought 3 books, by the way, too. You didn't ask, but I did. I bought 3 more books. And I've just about almost, that right there is the last of the 3.
Okay.
So I'm almost done with them.
Did you guys hang out in Monterey at all?
No.
Really?
It would have taken, by the time, it would have added an hour to our driving. Plus, if we were going to go, I wanted to get out, and go to Cannery Row and do all of that.
Yeah.
And Robbie was ready to get over to Walnut Creek.
Okay.
Where we were staying.
Yeah.
And so we went up to Walnut Creek. It was great. We stayed.
This is incredible. You did a California tour and you went to Salinas and not Monterey. You might be the first person to ever go to Salinas and not Monterey.
What can I say?
That's incredible.
Well, I'll just have to go back.
Yeah.
So, and also full disclosure, 22 years ago, I drove through Monterey and Carmel.
Oh, I'm glad that you're telling the truth.
Right? It's important for people to know. I feel like people right now are listening to this podcast going, but has he ever been?
That's right. Yeah.
Because they give a shit.
Right.
So anyway,
they're gonna put your
this is gonna be the #1 episode of all time.
They're gonna put your testimony through an AI filter to try to determine the
right. So I'm trying to wrap this up because I do want to get to Sacramento. So did that. Then the next day we went over to Sausalito and the Muir Woods.
Sure.
And the kids got to see the redwoods. And we did all that. And then we went back to San Francisco, catch a baseball game.
East Bay is, for Northern California, East Bay, yes, San Francisco proper is probably the most expensive because of a lot of Silicon Valley. Well, Silicon Valley is not San Francisco proper, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But East Bay is where it's at. Like that is where everyone wants to be.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, so we went into San Francisco. We saw a baseball game. Loved it. We walked down to Ghirardelli and spent over $100 on 4 ice cream sundaes.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds right.
What?
Yeah. And called it Ghirardelli. Did you call it Ghirardelli to people's face? It's pretty.
I don't think I called it to anybody's face.
Okay.
Why? Well, how are you supposed to pronounce
Ghirardelli? But
Ghirardelli?
Do you?
Now I feel like the person that says.
Give you a hard time.
Now I feel like the person that says gyro instead of euro.
That's right. That's exactly what you did.
How do you?
I hope you said it.
Ghirardelli. It's Ghirardelli.
It's that's what everyone has always said.
It's chocolate.
I hope you also called it Frisco.
No.
When you were talking about going into San Francisco, we went into Frisco.
I would have said San Francisco.
No.
I'm not. I don't generally abbreviate.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
No. Okay. So then, we went back and we went to we saw Alcatraz. We did.
Did you do a tour
39.
or did you just like?
Yeah. Well, we did the audio tour. You have to get a ticket. You take the ferry out.
I'm saying like you went out to Alcatraz.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I have never done it.
Are you kidding me?
I've never done it.
That's like the person who lives in New York has never actually been out to the Statue of Liberty.
Exactly what it is. And it's just one of those things. It was always there.
I think you would like it.
I would love it.
Yeah. It was my second time.
Yeah. I mean, it's to my eternal shame. I have talked to other people who've done it.
There are so many things that you know so much about. And there's so much that I have to educate you on.
I know. There's most things you have to educate.
I think what we really need to turn this podcast into is every episode, me explaining another Steinbeck novel to you.
This is good. Actually, this would be really good.
Oh, yeah. No one would listen. No one's going to listen to this one. They're done.
That's good.
So I can say whatever I want at this point.
You went out.
Everybody's logged out.
You did Alcatraz. What was the other touristy thing you did? You said
Pier 39.
Yeah. Okay,
right. That's good. The seals. You get to see the seals, and
that's good.
And
sea lions, not seals.
Whatever. And I ate an entire bowl of the clam chowder with the sourdough bread.
Good.
Not only did I eat the clam chowder, I ate the entire loaf of bread.
That's what you're intended to. You should.
And then I walked around with...
You're making my mouth water right now.
I walked around bloated with guilt.
Awesome. You
right?
don't have guilt, man. Just drink through the guilt.
It was bad.
Just kidding.
And so there was a couple nights that I drank through the guilt.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we found a microbrewery.
Sourdough clam chowder bowl is just...
It's fantastic.
If you go to San Francisco and you're on Pier 39, you have...
Yeah.
What are you doing if you don't eat that?
So then we got up the next day and because we weren't on the beach anymore, we were able to convince the kids to be
we
out
have
on the
no
road.
beach
right
in Northern California.
No, and so we went to Sacramento.
Yep, cool.
And we went to Old Town.
It's the only place to go in Sacramento.
And I thought to myself, why in the hell would anybody live here?
Yeah.
And then I looked at the map and I studied the history a little bit, and I was like, now I see. What happened was people came through the Donner Pass. They're like, yay.
Oh, you're asking why it would have sprung up.
Yeah. And I was like,
because of the rivers.
I was like, oh, you came out of the mountains from the east.
Yeah.
You got into a valley. There's a big river.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is a great place to settle.
Yeah. It's the river thing.
We didn't eat each other.
It's
like
the
Delta. Donner did.
It's the Delta. That's what did it.
Yeah.
Because you actually have access to the Pacific from Sacramento.
I didn't realize that until I read about.
Yeah.
I am the one that goes into these places and tries to learn the history while I'm there.
Yeah.
And I found out about the canal.
Yeah.
The shipping canal.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, that takes you all the way out.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I did know the history of the railroads.
Sure.
Right. And so I was like, it makes sense.
But that's why the railroads came through there was because
it makes sense. It made sense to me.
Yeah.
And it also made sense if you know the history, why it was the capital. Right.
Sure.
So anyway, I enjoyed Old Town.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie got bored enough that we actually played putt-putt in an old hotel in the basement, underground putt-putt in Old Town.
Okay.
And it was the only place in San Francisco where I actually started getting hot. It was in Old Town, Sacramento.
That's not in San Francisco. What do you said it's the only place in San Francisco.
I'm sorry, the only place in California.
That
I actually began to feel hot.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Was in Sacramento, which is probably how I was like, I don't care for Sacramento.
Yeah. It's better too than where I'm actually from, Placer County, if you go east.
Okay.
Because Sacramento gets
closer but you start heading out towards the mountains that way.
Yeah. Yeah. When you go east, you start. We lived in the just outside of the foothills.
Okay.
But because you get the Delta breeze in Sacramento, and so it cools it down so it gets almost as hot.
During the game, it got cool.
But then it cools down at night. Mm-hmm. And Placer County does not cool down at night. So it's like 108, 109 degrees during the day, and then it's like 99, 100 degrees at night.
But you don't have the humidity.
I never minded it. I'm like a lizard.
Here, though, it's like, on top of that, you're also underwater.
I know. Krista doesn't mind the humidity, though. We've been talking about this a lot. She does not mind it at all.
I hate it. We walked off the plane.
Yeah.
And it hit us. And I was like, this.
It really does feel like you're walking through fog.
I was ready to put the house up for sale. I'm like, I got to get out of Tennessee.
And go where? Laguna Beach?
No, I can't afford Laguna Beach.
I mean,
Virginia Beach.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah, but the humidity's not going to be better there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
When I think of Virginia, I think of worse humidity than here. But
I don't know. Closer to the coast.
Okay.
Doesn't have the same as the Pacific.
Yeah.
The Atlantic doesn't. But you're far enough up north that the water's going to stay relatively cold.
Okay.
So, yeah. So anyway,
So Sacramento and his
Sacramento.
old town, and that's it.
Yep. We had one more day. We went up to Sonoma.
Okay.
I loved it. I toured the barracks
Sonoma's nice,
of
yeah.
Sonoma.
Yeah.
I toured the mission. And yes, Krista reminded me there are wineries up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not do the tasting because I was our driver.
Yeah.
But Denise and Madison had a few tastings, and they enjoyed it.
Yep.
And at the first place, the guy was really, really friendly.
Uh-huh.
And we were telling him all about the trip and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah. And yesterday we were out in Sacramento. He's like, you know what I love about Sacramento? I was like, what? He's like, how close it is to Tahoe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Everyone who comes from where we are
Mm-hmm.
in Sacramento, the Sacramento, greater Sacramento area, Placer County or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone says, what's great about it is that you're 2 hours from everything. That's what everyone, like, you're 2 hours from
San Francisco
or the Tahoe or whatever. But
yeah.
So
it was fun.
You didn't visit, did you visit or see Sutter's Fort when you're in Sacramento?
No.
That is, like, as far as I'm concerned, that's the best historical place.
Told me.
I know. I didn't think about that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Sutter was involved in discovering the gold that started the 49ers.
Huh. To be honest, though, I'm not sure I can convince my traveling companions to go visit a fort.
And do a tour and stuff.
Yeah.
When Reed was he must have been in 4th grade or 5th grade.
Mm.
They had, his school had a big field trip day, and they prepared for it. We all had to prepare for it. It was an all day thing at Sutter's Fort, and it was very fun. So they all dressed up like the fort is still there and preserved and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So their field trip was not just to go do a tour. Their field trip was all day. They were going to be the people in Sutter's Fort doing different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you were going to be one of the chaperones, you had to go ahead of time, like a day or two ahead of time, and train in the thing that you were in your station.
Mm-hmm.
And so my station was the Cowboys, which they were Mexicans, because it was still part of Mexico at that point. And I can't remember what they were called. Starts with a V.
Vallejos?
Or something like that. Yeah. That makes me sad that I can't remember.
It's not caballeros, because that's what people think, but that's not it.
No, it starts with a V. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's like an L in there and an H.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I think the L's are a Y.
Yeah.
I think it's Vallejos.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. But anyway, I taught the kids how to lasso.
Cool.
And I wore a poncho.
Mm-hmm.
And Reed played Sutter. He was Sutter.
Okay.
So I've got a picture of him in like a cowboy hat thing, and they all rode up on a wagon to get there, and then he had to give a speech. Like, it wasn't a speech; it was like a
already though the thespian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway,
yeah. So I was in California long enough that the things that when I first got there I found like really sort of off-putting.
Yeah.
Began to feel normal.
Started to feel normal.
Yeah. And I was like, if I lived in California, this would be normal.
Yeah.
And so
did you get a sense for how different the different parts are, or did it feel like one kind of cohesive thing?
No, it's complete. Like the coast, San Francisco, and that whole area is way different than Sacramento,
mm-hmm.
and both of those are way different than LA,
mm-hmm.
and
the Central Coast is a whole different thing.
Yep, yeah. You've got I think it was called. They sent us a magazine called Slow Cal.
Yeah, Slow, right? Is and San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, and it was that had a completely different, more residential feel to it, more local feel.
Yeah.
Than when we were, further south.
Central Coast is very sleepy.
Yeah.
It's
surprising. Like, and when we're in Salinas, it's surprising to me how much it feels like you could have just picked some of that up and dropped it right in Texas.
Yeah.
And it would feel just the same.
There are huge swaths of California that feel very Texas or feel Midwestern.
Yes. And the people, I would imagine that the people in those areas, if you plucked them and had them wake up the next day in Texas or whatever, they wouldn't notice. Like the people would just feel the same. The accents might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think that the concerns, I think that the thinking about things, the positions about things, the opinions about things, it would feel very familiar and very same to them. And so it was something I thought about, and I think this is worth talking about. And maybe this is really long because now we're getting close to the end of this. And if you're still listening, I apologize. Next week we'll get back.
I don't
on
apologize.
The other thing, but
this has been amazing.
But yeah, it's your home state. But here's what I think is that there are certain things that we think are ridiculous, right? But it's all based on our exposure and perspective. And so there are some things that were like, oh my gosh, those Californians or those New Yorkers or whatever, I can't believe that they're worried about this, or I can't believe that they're worried about that, or I can't believe that this is their thing. And then you come to Tennessee or wherever, and you sit down and you listen to the conversations and you watch the things, and we're still just as dramatic. We're still just as over concerned about or over involved in.
Sure.
Just different things.
Sure. Yeah.
And maybe if we realize that, it will give us a little bit more patience and compassion for people that are different than us, that we perceive as different than us. Because if I had grown up where you grow up, I would probably consider myself a conservative. I mean, I'd probably be just a lot very much like you.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
As we've joked about that even.
Yeah.
You're a California conservative and I'm a Tennessee
liberal, and
right?
Yeah, and
we're basically
pretty close.
We're pretty close,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But if we had taken you and put you in, let's just say you grew up in Laguna, you may be a completely different person.
Sure,
right?
I think that's definitely true because I think everything has everything has an effect.
Right. I still think though, to some degree, there would be certain behavioral patterns that would be the same.
Maybe.
It's just the things that would get you riled up or the things that you were concerned about or the things that you were compassionate about would be different.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that the idea of that seems less real isn't fair.
What seems less real? What do you
mean? A lot of times people going back to like the plastic surgery and all that kind of stuff, right? For people to say, oh, they're so superficial. Californians are so superficial.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not fair. That's very important. And that's very part of whatever is going on. There are things that happen here that I look at people and I'm like, oh, come on. You are so superficial.
Sure.
But to them, it's really important.
Yeah.
And so I think that we're not being fair when we completely just discount someone else and their concerns and say that that's shallow or superficial or stupid.
Sure. Yeah, people have reasons for their concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think that travel, I think it's a really good example of why I think travel is great. And it doesn't mean that you have to travel in order to be a good person, but I think that I don't care about what you do. I don't mean you, but like just in general, do whatever you want. For me and for our family, we want to be exposed to different ways of living and different people and different expectations and different concerns and all that kind of stuff. I want it for my kids and I want it for myself. And it's cool. In the United States, there's so many different cultures, and it's so vast that you can do it without even leaving the country.
You need to read the book Travels with Charlie.
Okay. All right.
It was written by one of our all-time great American heroes. Communists. One last story because I think it's great. So we were at the Sacramento game. In that tiny little.
Because it's a minor league.
It is. It's a minor league, but it's
baseball.
even small for a minor league stadium.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what level they are.
I don't know either.
Right, but like
it's the River Cats for anybody who cares.
The Nashville Sounds Stadium looked like a major league stadium.
That is a function of the fact that yes, Nashville and Sacramento are both capital cities. Nashville is a way more developed city than Sacramento, except for traffic patterns. That's the only thing.
It's horrible here.
Nashville traffic is terrible, but all of the, as far as I'm concerned, all the buildings, all the things like the stadium and stuff. It's so much nicer in Nashville than it is in Sacramento's just I don't know, maybe it's because it's older or whatever, but all of them are like that. Like the zoo is much nicer in Nashville. All these kind of like public big infrastructure projects. I don't know. It feels like they're bigger and nicer in Nashville.
So we were at the stadium, and this is a story about how I think if you're willing to just take a little bit of time, not even a whole lot of effort, there's always something that you can find that will connect you to another person.
Sure.
I mean, maybe not always, but generally speaking. So we're at the game, right? We've stopped at the pro shop. We all have our Oakland or Sacramento or Vegas or whatever they are now, athletics hats on, right? And then a few innings in, this woman and her husband come walking in, and they sit down right next to Robbie, who's at the end there, and they're all decked out in their Dodger stuff. And she is obviously been. She was at the pre-party. Right.
Yeah.
So she's
getting after it.
She's 3 sheets to the wind, and she sits down, and she's immediately a chatterbox.
Okay.
Right. And her husband keeps going like, "Are you okay? You all right?" And she's just having a great time, and she's chatting up my kids. And my kids are loving it. Right. They're just having a great time with her. And she starts talking about how she's originally from LA. But her and her husband have relocated up here. She's a realtor and all that stuff. But here's the thing. Everyone there is dressed in blue because they're playing the Dodgers.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was like, we were so frustrated with that. We're like, I cannot believe, come on, people, you know? And then you're the reason that we had to pay $150 a seat. Because of all of these LA people. Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she starts going off, and she's like, I cannot believe all of these fake LA Dodger fans. And she starts like yelling at them. And she's like, where were you 10 years ago when we sucked? And she's like, you all should be ashamed. And then she's like telling my kids, they suck. They shouldn't be allowed here. Look at all those brand new Ohtani jerseys. Where were they? And she's like, I guarantee that none of them are real Dodger fans. We're real Dodger fans.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, immediately my kids bonded with her.
Sure, yeah.
Because that's like one of the things that we can't stand. And so there's always people that you can bond with, even if it's over a shared disdain for others.
Especially if they've been pre-gaming.
All right. Well, it was fun. I'm glad to talk to you again.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Living on Common Ground. Please follow wherever you listen to your podcasts and share it with your friends. You can also find a link to our social in the description. The more people we have living on common ground, the better the world will be.